So Parshat Lech Lecha, a very deep pasuk where Hashem instructs Avraham to Lech Lecha me'artzecha mimoladetecha mibeis avicha el haaretz asher areka. So leave your aretz, your land, mimoladetecha, your birthplace, mibeis avicha, in your father's house, and go to the land that I will show you. This is the first time Hashem speaks to Avraham, and it's actually the first commandment of Hashem to a Jew. Noach wasn't a Jew, so even though Hashem instructed him to build a table, he was a Noachite, he wasn't a Jew. This is Hashem's first command to a Jew. So the Parsha is named Lech Lecha, and obviously the Parsha has a timeless message for us. And it's the first instruction to a Jew, a command or tzivui. So obviously there's a lot we can learn for it then in our own life. So many Mefarshim and Kabbalists and Hasidic authors dissect these words in the pasuk and say, what is our message in this instruction, Lech Lecha me'artzecha? So there's a lot of levels, and I'll learn a few of them. So Lech Lecha is an instruction for all of us, not just Avraham, but it's an instruction not just for Avraham to depart physically from the land where he lived, where he was at the time he was in Haran, because they had fled from Nimrod, and go to Eretz Yisrael. But it's a deep personal it's a deep personal instruction from Hashem of how to Lech Lecha, right? So, and we translate Lech Lecha as go, as leave, you should leave. But in Pshat, Lech Lecha means go to yourself, right? So the Zohar comments on this, and says that Lech Lecha means go to your inner core, to your highest self. Now, it's really interesting to note that Avram's entire life until this point is not recorded in the Torah, which is a question that obviously he's born, and then suddenly Hashem picks him to go and found the Jewish nation, right? Where's the rest of his life? It's in Midrashim. We know about the Kivshana Eish and the story of Nimrod and how Avram searched for Hashem and obviously taught about God to the whole world. But why isn't it in the Torah? It's obviously very important. And the Zohar asks, on what merit? In the Pshat of the text, we see nothing about Avram. So in what merit did Hashem pick him? Moshe Rabbeinu was the leader. We have so much in the text about who Moshe was and his greatness, and we understand why Hashem chose him. There's so much about Moshe. And even Noach, it says he was a tamim, so it gives us background why Hashem chose Noach. Avram, it says nothing. So the Zohar says something really deep. He says that Avram, what his merit was, well, obviously the Midrashim tell us a lot, but one of his merits was that while the rest of his nation was hard-hearted, he was soft-hearted. While they were stubborn in their ways and stuck in the familiar and in being comfortable in the way a hard-hearted person was, Avram was fluid and ready to move and ready to question and challenge his ways and leave his ways. But we still are left with why isn't his whole previous life story mentioned up until this point and recorded. And there's something very profound. So although Avraham accomplished tremendous things up until this point, it was within human limitations. It was within his human capacity. According to it was all his own intellect, his own findings. And now Hashem is saying, Lech Lecha, I want to take you to a level that's beyond what you can reach on your own. That through me instructing you, Lech Lecha la'aretz asher areka, that I will show you to a level that's beyond what you can ever reach on your own. So with Hashem's instruction, we learn this is where his real mission began, because he can spread Hashem's name as much as, and do his best he can, but he's still human. But with Hashem pulling him, instructing him, he's no longer confined by any human limitation. Hi, Moshe. And he's beyond all human limitations. Decaf, please. Thank you so much. Kal, b'vakasha. Im lo, as lo, ki as Kal. Ma? If you have Kal, if not, then I'm good. Im lo, as lo caffeine. Thank you so much. I had already a coffee today. Last week I was shaking. So Hashem this is really where Avram's pivotal life transformation is, and Lech Lecha is saying, go to yourself, to your core, to the core of your soul, to reach your greatest potential that I have designated for you. That's beyond what you on your own can ever reach. So you on your own can reach a certain level, and Avram had reached that level, but now Hashem is taking him to a level far beyond what his human limitations can reach him. There's a really beautiful thought so let's start. So there's three things he says. Why three? Why not just say leave your land? Why does he have to repeat artzecha, moladetecha, umi beis avicha? They each tell us something different, that in our journey of Lech Lecha, of going to ourselves, to our inner core and achieving our highest potential in life and journeying. And Lech Lecha is a command for all of us every moment to keep moving, even if we don't know where we're moving to, but to keep moving forwards. And sometimes that forwards feels like backwards, as we'll see soon, but it's an instruction to always just be moving and leaving our comfort zone. So there's three methods or steps in order to be able to achieve our highest potential. The first one is to leave Artzacha. Artzacha is the things that you're born with. Artzacha and Maladetecha represent nature and nurture. So Maladetecha is the things that you're born with. It's your nature and the things that make you. And you might feel like, how can I leave my nature? My Maladetecha, I was born like this. This is who I am. I am an introvert. How can I be expected now to go out and, affect the world? I'm an introverted person. But hi, are you joining us? So nice, Mazal Tov. And so we're told that we have the capacity to even leave and break beyond our nature that we're born with. Artzacha represents our nurture, the environment, the things that we pick up that become like our secondary nature, the things that we are born into a society, a family, an environment that creates a certain nature. And then, so we're told that we have to first break and free ourselves from the limitations of our nature, free ourselves from the limitations of our nurture, of the things that became a part of us, and mi beis avicha, our father's house. So in Kabbalah, avicha, av, always represents chachma, intellect. There's chachma and bina are like the father and the mother in Kabbalah that birth the midos, because through the intellect, the wisdom and the intellect combining, and through meditation and thought, we birth our emotions, right? Like CBT, right? Our thoughts birth our emotions. So chachma is av. So beis avicha means even leave the limitations of your intellect. When here it's referring to negative intellect, to your intellect rationalizing why you should be a certain way. And it's so hard to leave our own levels of our rationale that, well, this is how I should be. This is my values, my ideals, or I'm good enough where I'm at, and rationalizing why we shouldn't be better, why we should stay where we are, and why we shouldn't leave our comfort zone. So Abraham's merit, according to the Zohar, that Hashem picked him was that he was a mover. He was someone, Lech Lecha was the merit, that he was someone who was ready to just pick up, leave everything that he's familiar with and move. And that is what it takes to be that person that Hashem chose, to be able to move no matter where we're going. This was something that I thought about that really has a lot of relevance, because we get very stuck. Some people are very stuck. And what made Avram different was that he wasn't stuck. He was soft-hearted, he was bendable, he was flexible, and he was ready to leave a situation. And sometimes we're stuck for a good thing even. And sometimes we're stuck in a bad situation. We stay stuck and we remain stubbornly stuck in a bad job, in a toxic environment, in an abusive relationship, not because we're committed from a stubborn place of goodness, just because we're so comfortable. We find comfort and the fear of leaving and doing something new and moving forward to the unknown. Just Avram is being told to move to the unknown is so terrifying, but that is the epitome of the first instruction of what it means to be a Jew. You have to be able to leave the comfort of, even if the comfort is, especially if the comfort is a negative comfort. And I feel like this is relevant for me and probably for everybody, that we all have areas in our lives where we're stuck and we're not really, and we're afraid to